I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is September 29, Monday, 2025. Hope you had a good weekend. So, just to before I get into the fire video, I want to make sure we understand, like, we were calling buying from September 3rd. Go watch September 3rd's video. We were saying we're going to buy to the 17th to the 19th. What's the high here? What's the high here? Monday the 22nd, right? What was the day before that? That was the 19th. So they did it on Monday. That was Monday's last week. Obviously, we rated and we came back in the range. And then when we came back down, I drew this specific structure coming down perfectly, right? If we're going to come underneath or not, that's the question, right? Measuring this Wicks candle. Obviously, you have the clean up the chart a little bit, but put some other stuff on here with, like, for example, the daily bullish imbalances. The point is that I'm not necessarily needing that, but just to show you that there's weakness, not weakness, there's strength on above it, right, of the upper quadrant, but there's no bodies as well, and understanding that look how we close in Thursdays, right? And then Friday, Thursday's candle I'm talking about. Then Friday we come down, we shake out. So as you see here, real quick, you'll see before I go into the fire stuff here, you see that even when we came down here like this, we came back up here and then we retraced, right? Then we expanded down, but we didn't break the low. So then we go into a consolidation, but we'll push up. And at this point, it's closing above and you now have structure. That's a new break up, right? You saw me catching in the post community tab on the YouTube channel. You can see I'm catching this sell from here to here, right? Because I understand that this is very possible. It's a speaker. And then, just right there, just don't look at it. Don't think I'm crazy by doing this, but you see this little speaker here, right? So you see that we came down, but then what did we do? Well, we ended up coming up. We closed here. So we're already in an expansion phase, right? So that being the case, I could have did this a little longer. So Sunday, we get this constantly buying candles, right? What are they doing? They're just expanding up. We didn't know what the direction was, but at the same time, is this a very big possibility for it to be the buy? Yeah, well, we have the quadrant here meeting with that daily imbalance right there. You can see it all nested right there. It's not a lot of shit, okay? And then you see a retracement up. Whoa, what did I just do? Come on. So, and before I even get up into the next explanation of the expansion, you see that we're tagging this area here, right? We have the 101.5. I'm using just the bodies on this time frame, and then buying back up. You'll see that I have a projection here. I'm using if you go back to Thursday's low. So by the way, Thursday was also the low. That was the issue with Friday. That was going to make a new low on Friday for the week, and they did not, right? So at this point you gotta go play golf, because they're fucking around, and I'm not going to sit here all day. But and I could have said this on Sunday's night's community tab, but I'm sure you knew it was obvious that once we come back up here on the speaker, see the speaker here? You saw me catch from the sell to here, and that you can see the bodies sitting all time frame. Go look at this time frame of Thursday's first imbalance, right? Go look at that the bodies on the 30-minute, especially. If you know what, real quick, you see look at the bodies sitting right there. Get that right there. I'm talking about Thursday. We jumping around just a little bit, so make sure you are paying attention. And then what's it called? We come up here. So we've got the direction. It's not like the price kept coming down and made new lower lows here. We didn't get that, right? So we got to push up. Now we have understanding a break of structure, or we have direction. But the point is that I could have said that on Sunday, but it's already, it beat me to it. Like, I couldn't even say it. It was already going, right? But you should see that, right? And then I'm measuring this last down candle in the 15-minute, just the bodies itself. And then, you can see we come into a 101.5 here. We do that on Friday. It doesn't take that out. It almost seals it completely. And then we retrace back. So that's your real high or low, right? That's your second one. That's your third one, right? Because you could say if that's the real high or low, then obviously you're gonna have, it's a long-term low. You got left on the left side, you got to swing low. On the right side, you got to swing low, and then the story goes on. But the point is that That being said, you can see the projection 2 to 2.5. We're already pushing up, right? We're already pushing up here. And then we get up to here. What's on the left side of the chart? Obviously, all that easy selling. You saw me catch the sell from here, and from here, right? You literally saw all that. Even I think, I don't remember if I took I know I took the buy here. Yeah, I took the buy here on Thursday. I did take this buy on Thursday, right? And then you walk away, right? But, and then this sell from here to here, but doesn't go through. So that's why you take out profit before it reaches higher lows, right? Not needing to be right. The point is that, okay, exchange of hands, they switch it up, right? And for the, going back to the seasonal data, it should have been selling more, honestly. I mean, today's the 29th, and now we pushed up all the way up here. So this is what manual intervention looks like, literally, right? So, okay, fine. And even when you're not relying on that and you're just understanding the regular price action flow, they're coming up, or they're already telling you here that they're fucking pushing up, right? Like they're constantly doing that, right? To the left, and you see that 2 to 2.5 is up here. And then what do I have? This quadded area right here. That is the last week's wick. Because now we're going to use that and we're going to reference it. I wasn't expecting it to blow through, even though at one moment I did, but I was never going to be a buyer today, literally, right? So why? Because now we get back into the conversation here. By the way, when you're all all-time highs, you're obviously using these wicks, right? Uses gaps and all that, but you'll see how I play it today with that. Now that I mentioned all that, you'll see I'm looking at the body sitting at 50% of that weekly wick, right? You got 2 to 2.5. You get the liquidity sitting right there. And what's this right here? You get the breakout level. I fucking sold this. I sold this, both of these. It's a 9, see this? 9 o'clock candle. I sold this down, right? So anyways, what are we doing? They're coming up to raid those guys. Even if the breakout level, very simple shit. If I just do this and you do that, you can see how we come to it. You're going to see how I sell from right here, right? Okay. Now that I mentioned all that with this wick, and then I understand the range. This is the range I'm seeing and I'm dealing with. So remember, I just drew the structure here, right? So okay, let's just go back to this, right? Okay, we brought up new high, higher low. Okay, by it pushing up, we're confirmed, we're bullish. We were bullish. We're always bullish. Fourth quarter's coming in. They might have slipped the rug and got it started early. We don't know, right? But let's just keep it simple. We're in an expansion phase. From this higher low, we came up, we consolidated and fucked around with a speaker. And then what am I doing here? I'm looking for a retrace. Simple retrace where, well, we busted out through here, right? And here. So breakout level there, breakout level there. Oh, what's that? That's Friday's high. Oh, what's that? Thursday's high, right? And then this is Wednesday's high, right? But I'm not looking there. We have this gap from last week. The opening of last week is going to be this gray level that's going to be influential in the trades that I show you as well. All right. So bodies respect. Let me delete this. So in the case, when I look at this, I'm saying, okay, well, we are in phase expansion and I'm going to be looking for a retrace, right? And that was the play for today, right? So I know exactly what phase I'm in the price action. Okay. Now let me go to the first trade, right? So what did we do? I explained all what I just said. Look at the bodies on the 4 hour up here. You see that? Look at the bodies sitting there on that 50%. That's that -2. That's, again, we just tagged up there. And how did they do it? Okay, well, we already pushed up. Look at all those 4 hour candles. They all are imbalances, generally speaking. Okay, we have the opening range gap here at 9:30. And this was actually a losing day for me originally, because I knew we were going to be selling back down more, right? Not forever, just we're going to expect a big retrace, right? So here's 9:30. Here's that gap I talked about, the gray. And then here's the opening range gap here, all that, right? Here's the midnight level, right? And then there's just the midnight open. It was no gap at all, so I just drew it physically to know where the open was. Not that I was going to sell to it, but just talking. And then, 3 standard deviations up here in the Asia range. Projected up. We miss it by a tick. Maybe we even hit it. I forgot. It didn't matter. The point was that, okay, you can see the body sitting there. I'm getting up into this area. Now 9:30 is here. I'm actually already selling this, okay, because I knew we were going to pull back in. I knew where the settlement was here, right? And I'm looking for a dump, then a pump. I would have been gladly to buy it if they pushed it down first in here. But guess what? They didn't do that, right? So they knew what they were doing. They, what's it called? Fucking S&P and Dow were flowing more of what I expected to be in the retracement. But for us, we got a pump first. So this is a pump, then dump, right? In a bearish day, generally speaking, this is what it'll be. And this is not a bearish day because we obviously opened down here, but it's, as far as the session goes, I expected to come back in the range. That being said, I'm already selling this here though. I was in this sell here, selling here, selling here, selling here. 9:30 comes. I want to come and reach down in here. This price action, notice how pre 9:30, which was almost 9 o'clock, pre 9 o'clock, we raid this little speaker. See, we already got a speaker there, right? So they come up and they shake out and then they take that high. We have a divergence happening at that time. Okay, this is how it almost became a losing day for me. I had a higher high here, right? And we had lower highs here. So I got to take this trade 1000%. I don't fucking care if I'm wrong. But what did they do? That first candle popped up. It was a wick. That's a good sign still. Okay. Look what I got. I got this imbalance here, this imbalance here, this imbalance here, and the gap. Knowing that the issue though, when we trying to push through, is I understand there's just this fucking gap here, right? And that gap, it's the gap, but then it's also the same level as obviously the low of the wick of the last week. Okay, so that's that open, and then 9:30 is laying on top of it. So using it as a fake support, they came and raided the low right there. Okay, pre-session, right, pre-low, and then they start pushing up. I'm going to explain why I'm saying this. This candle was good in the sell. Then this next candle, 931, pushes up. It gets into this. I'm like, okay, well, the bodies are sitting here. It needs to make a new low and then use these up candles as a controller price or resistance and start fanning. Doesn't do that. Comes up here. Okay, now it spends too much time in this imbalance, and they know what the fuck they're doing. All right, so from this, I have to allow this retracement. So from that high to that low, if this is a break, okay, and we're going to go this way for order flow, we kind of come up. I have to allow this. Okay, so because my sell is in here originally, then this pops up right here, right? And then it tags that guy right there, sweeps us a little bit of them, pulls back in here. I need to see the body stay in here. Look how it's working this whole time. Then you get this candle. That candle right there should not be going on if this is going to be selling. Okay. And then where's the confirmation of that? This next candle. Obviously, it shoots straight the fuck up, but I already know what time it is. But whatever it is, I'm in a sense married to coming down and selling, right? Because I understand where we're going to go here, right? Because I'm not buying up here. That's the purpose of my conversation. I'm not buying up here, and they know it. So what they do is they get other motherfuckers or suckers, early traders, to buy this. Now, could I have bought this? And I thought about buying. I was like, nah, I'm going to just, keep it simple. I'm already in this trade. What I should have done is just took it out and then seen possibilities of it buying, but I was just generally bearish. We're knocking that 25%. Look at the 25%. Remember in the background here, we got the levels here. You can see it. 15-minute, very clear. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna go. But then when we go above it like that, no bueno, right? But what do? I start trying to sell some of these drives, and I'm like, come on, bro, get the fuck out of here. Why? Okay, this is showing my impatience. But I understood that we're flowing down, and they're already S&P and Dow are already fucking down here. So they just happen to F us. Very, very simple. Okay, by the time we get up here, we have a divergence happening again, right? So we're up here, right? We're lower highs here. So I'm looking for the sell. Just so you know, retail is sitting here trying to buy this, and I'm telling you, and I'm right now saying no. Even when the price was down here, I'm still knowing that it's going to be selling. So even when it's popping up, I know it's selling, right? So I'm on the right side, but they are the ones that pushed it up. They pumped it up first. Why? Because everybody trades fucking Nas, right? So Anyways, I have to understand, accept that here's the first imbalance for today. I have this imbalance here. You can see we're bouncing on top of it. Normally, in a birdie world, if it kept going, these would be great buys, but I'm not bullish right here. I'm not buying up here, period. But to the one point, I was like, dude, what the fuck? When this popped up, I was like, am I missing this? Yeah, but if it would have kept going and made new highs here, my day would have been done. Not only would have been a losing day, but I would have been frustrated as hell, right? Because that's a completely different conversation type of day. And you've already missed the moves. I'm not jumping in here, right? And looking at that all-time high, I understood it would not get hit. But possible, obviously. But watch how I track this. So guess what? We push up, we get this boner candle, this last down candle. That's all sells in there, right? Stop loss above here, comes down, breaks. Okay, but it might not have been a break. It's still a speaker here. Comes back up. It's a lower high, has to fail. Comes underneath. I'm highlighting that inversion on purpose. All right, that one didn't work out. This one did. Look at the bodies completely. It has to work here. Look where my entry is. Look where my entry is, and it has to work here. Obviously, stop loss is going to be right here, right? And it's working. Then it breaks, comes down. What's this line? That's 50% of that wick on the weekly. See that? See it? So I'm in an expansion. I understand that, okay, this is a consolidation and an expansion. Generally speaking, once you make this consolidation here and then you expand, it's either going to do two things. It's going to consolidate and keep pushing up, or it's going to retrace more on the higher time frame range, right? Or it's going to be a reversal, right? And in this case, I was just still looking at it more as a retrace because I know we're bullish in the sense. Obviously, look at the fucking price all the way up here, right? We should have, if we're bullish, we would have, we would have came lower still, right? But it's fine. It's fine. Whatever the case is, to keep it simple, I'm just looking for a retrace. And where would that be? If I have this here, highlighted to here, I understand, hey, I'm going to mark the 50% in a second here. And I know the opening range gap is confluence with it. But it doesn't have to. But the retrace is coming on this side. We have higher lows in here. Now you see my circles here, very fucking clear what I'm doing. Just to show you, people are wishing that they were selling from here, and they're saying that they should have sold here once the price was down here, right? So this is me also predicting, but general price action. This was also very easy to fucking buy. But what's to the left of that low is going to be these guys at midnight, after midnight. See that? Right there. So I got the first circle here, right? And I got this second circle. All right, the first circle is obviously showing you the high of that gap and then the 930. Very clear, plus that low, right? Very clear. So I'm trying to rush to it. It was a already very shitty start for me because I was trying to sell this. It's a 10 o'clock candle. This was a 4 hour candle play at 10 o'clock. But they decided to raid one more time here. So I'm like, man, fuck you guys. I know what you're doing. Right? So here we go. We get this set up here. Have to take this. Sure enough, was right the whole fucking time. Right? So then you see me coming down. You see hitting that 50 of that wick of the weekly. Right? We coming in. Right? Then we have that first imbalance of today right there. Look how we slither literally with a doji or whatever you call this fucking candle. Or I'll call it whatever. Indecisive candle. On the 50. And rolls over, then comes back. I have to allow this pullback. I'm trailing it, but I have to allow it. When the price got here, up to here, I have my stop here originally because I have to allow it to tag that first imbalance. Why? You can see it going to be used as resistance, right? Just like this, by the way, just got used as resistance. Pay attention. Look at this. This is on my chart. It's going to, and it'll still be on my chart when I show the rest of the price action. But that just turned into resistance. I need to see this for this trade to work. And then you see here, stop loss there. It tags. Oh, what's that? That's the 25%. That fucking 15-minute candle, the 11:15 literally opened on that wick, on that algorithmic level. Literally. And what's right there? The first imbalance. And it tags it. Then once it hits it, and I start pushing the stop loss on this side of the curve. And I'm trying to rush it down. Where are we going? Into where I said I wanted to go. But it's already been a shitty day, and I've took way too many losses. And now I'm trying to get back to all the losses and be in profit and still stick with it and mitigate that loss. And sure enough, I get into that trade, right? So I squeezed out, right? At that point, it's just like, can't be any more perfect than that for me in a day like this. But then what do? You see me get out right there, right? And then guess what? Pops back in. I just got out right there. What's this candle? 1128. You see that candle right there? See this? See this? Right next to that low. See that? See that 1 minute candle? That's that low. That's that 1 minute candle right here. I get stopped out. I protect the profit and I immediately get back in. Why? Because these 3 up candles right here, if I draw a line right there, it'd be dirty if I did it because it'd be on top of my entry, but I left it alone just to show you see it. These are the last 3 up candles, right? And consecutive, right? To change a delivery when it closes below. We tag back in and I get right back fucking in. All right, it pushes down. We clear that and the area that I talked about, and then it retraces back. Look, I'm still in the trade here. Why? Because I understand that this is going to be like an auction area. This is also a break here, and they're using it as resistance. I know we're trying to slither down for more of an objective down here, and so on, right? And now the time, it's 11:53, and I'm already closing shop. So what am I also doing? This is that push up, that reversal at the 10:30, for example, and then into London close, we're dipping in down and we're coming in. Even if you didn't know what time it was and you just looked at it as, forget patterns, but just price action only, you would expect this going on. So then what do I have this circle here for? What do I have this circle here? I have the top 25%. I know these are orange levels, this is my stop loss, so don't worry about it. That's the midnight level. That's the 25%. I'm highlighting that because the confluence, watch what the confluence is. Why do I have this circle here? I have the 25%. I have the midnight level. I understand that we're going to come and hit these levels for sure. Why? Look to the left. We also have the liquidity. These guys right there. That guy and that guy. See these 2 fucking guys right there? That's the high. It's matching the top 25%. And then that low is matching the midnight level. So I'm circling, that's this area right here. I'm trying to get into that. So we pulled up. We're using that gap. Well, look at the gap. You'll see how it works. We're sweeping above it. It's fine. I use this little bearish imbalance. And then we tag in and I'm pushing down and I'm trying to squeeze out and take the trade. I'm already done. But guess what? Guess what? Okay? I hate when they screenshot it like that. I just got out right here. Okay? Right here. Get stopped out. Plays around and fans out. Okay? AMD situation on the hour chart. And what do? They come back to that breakout area that was right here, what's behind my entry. They push up. All right? They don't take this guy out. Lower high. So I'm selling. 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for those amount of sells because the old me and retail is over here sitting here trying to buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. All right. Why? Because we're still coming to an objective of what they want to do here. Right. You can see I'm showing the level, but I'm not married to that range as it being a range, but I understand that that's like a range, right? But that's the logic. And what's the bottom of this circle? Why I have the circle down here? Take a look at this fire. There's many ways to project this, but I did it this way here with these bodies, with this last up move after measuring the failed high, right? You can see a 3.5 to 4 here, which we just fucking hit today now. But I'm not married to that. What I'm married to is Thursday's high. See, so we came into the 2 to 2.5. Look at the body sitting at the 2.5. Then we're coming back in. Generally speaking, we'll come back to the 1.5. See, it's right there you can't really see it on the 4 hour that well, but it's right there. You see it? See, it's 1 and 1.5 right here. See this? Look what Thursday's high is. I told you those were breakout levels. Friday and Thursday were breakout levels, right? So obviously with a expansion and an expansion, it looks like a reversal. The 15-minute is very clean, and you can see that. Obviously, with a big candle like that coming down, I'm expecting that to be of a reversal. So, in this case, this is fanning right here. This is a control of price. We're popping in it, popping in. I could draw a fucking line right here, and you see us hit that shit. 3-4 times, right? So when the price comes back up, this low here that I'm circling is also the 50%, right? That 50% opening range gap plus Thursday's high. That's what I'm trying to emulate here, okay? And I want to come out to these levels. Would I love for it to sink to hell? Sure, because I'm in the trade. No, but in general, this plan is a retrace. This is a retrace day for me. And in my session, obviously from 8 to lunch, or after lunch, even to the PM session, right? That's my window of saying I'm going to be focusing. I'm not trying to buy this and hold it. This is very fucking specific what I'm sharing with you. And then you have this imbalance here. We don't take out the high. So notice they don't take out the high right there. And I'm in that bitch. Because guess what they did? When it popped up, I tried to sell this. Came down. Didn't take out that low. I was like, you bastards. They popped up and they squeezed almost to the top here, right? Got in again. I already got taken out. So trying to catch these, sitting in that balance, it messes you up, but you got to put your stop loss bigger. Okay, fine. I should put my stop loss bigger, but I still flew, because just in case it rolled through, I don't need to have it bigger. But if it's going to flow through, it has to look like this. Get a pin bar right there. Fucking now the leg is giving me what I want to do what? Get into this fucking area. Notice how we missed that 25% on purpose. Look at the equal lows like that. Fucking dicks. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a mad or anything, but it's like I know what the fuck they're doing. It's a scam, period. So, this is what they do. But, okay, cool. All right, so I followed right through, and guess what time it is now? It's 1:03. So when I took this sell here, I went to lunch. I'm like, dude, I want to eat. I'm already, it's Monday, I'm already tired. I want to go, I'm going to go make a sandwich, which I hate making sandwiches, because if I'm in a trade and I'm making shit, or I'm eating shit, it's like, dude, it sucks. But I said, okay, I went downstairs. I was in profit coming down here, and I'm like, dude, it's going to rush to it now. I'm already I'm taking bites of my food, and then I'm like, let me go right back up and rush and screenshot this to show that I got in here. And I came right back upstairs just to do this, and then now it's like, I'm done. I'm fried. I did what I wanted to do and accomplish, and guess what? Not married to getting into here right now. It's fine. And guess what we did? You can't make this shit up. All right, we came in here. When I got out, that was the buy. Why didn't I buy it? I thought about it. This was the low. See this low? See this 103 candle? See this low? I actually took the profit out a hair lower too, so I got more out of it, but you can't see it in the screenshot. What's this? 103. Oh, I got out right at the low there. Oh, but then guess what? I understand this is sell 1, sell 2, sell 3. But I'm not involved because I don't know what's going to happen. And in my window of my trading, to be consistent, I know we got to move. Look to the left. We got to move 1 from all the way up in Asia and all that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this 4 going to stop and then going to continue back up? Or is it going to roll over and sell? What I mean is, let me do it again. We have push up 1, push up 2, push down 2. Does it turn into 3 and push up? Or does it 3 push up, wipe out some liquidity inside, which is these equal highs? Look at the bodies still on the gap. Look at that right there. I was already chilling and just not going to trade anymore, but I was like, dude, this is going to fucking sell. And sure enough, you get your little head and shoulder, you get your swing highs on each side, and then time involved. But the buy here, I could have bought it and walked away. Why didn't I buy it? Because I want to be a buyer from down here. And I'm done. Because like I was saying, the window of this time frame between 9:30 and 12 is like, all right, dude, that's it. Let's stop playing around with these people, okay? Because you don't know what's going to happen the more as the time goes. So your probabilities just shrink. So I'm capturing something inside that window. But when I came down here and I got out at that fucking candle, I said I could have bought it. Sure enough, we had this inversion right here, and I was like, oh, they're going to buy back up. Either going to buy all the way up for a new high, or they're going to at least buy up to squeeze out these last sellers. And you have retail saying, oh, I'm not going to sell this. I'm not going to sell this. I'm selling each one of these. I'm selling those. Yeah. Is it risky? Is it suck to sell these? Yeah. But I know this fanning, and I know this control of price. I know what they're doing because they want to get into this area. So but what did I do when I took the sell from here to here? I took profit. So I'm taking the drives down. Very simple. All right. That's very specific. Then when I could have bought here so I can take a buy here, but I was already done on walking away. What did it do? It bought up. Here's the PM's first imbalance right there. And then we push up. We squeeze them right there. See these guys? By a hair. Just those three guys right there. Right? Because notice how I caught that sell. Why? Because I knew these were lower highs. This was fanning. But in the gist of structure, I could talk all fucking day. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job, but these videos are going to be long. All right. So very possible that this is the break and it slithers down for a lower low. That's your lower high. I wasn't involved. Right. And then you made a new low. See that? So I understand that this structure right here before, when we were at 930, again, perfect world, 930, I just wanted it to come down. All right. And then push back up. And then retrace back, because I want to be bullish. If you're going to be bullish and float like that. But they didn't do that. They give you that pump first. So, lethargic day, and I understand no news, volatility, so it's going to be also a lot different. But notice that 15-minute on that gap. Look at the bodies. Selling it right there. Make a new low. Comes underneath where? Goes into 3.5 to 4. Comes underneath that 50 and tags that 50 now. That's why I have my circle fucking here. Why do you think when it came down here, it came all the way back up, squeezing all those people out? Period. I can't do better than that. I just can't. All right. So fire stuff. But in the beginning and all this bullshit here fucking sucked. It was hell. It sucked. Again, it's definitely a losing day until I started capitalizing on those trades that I showed you, man. So it was like, wow, fuck off. We just happen to be the ones trading NAS. Okay? Because if it was, you can see the lower highs here pretty easy. And look at Dow. I wanted our flow to be like Dow. All right? And this is what's the one thing good about Dow is that they'll do that. Right? But anyways, once the price came down here with Dow, they took out that low right there, and then we were still up here, and then we made some drives down. But does this be the thing that pops us back up? Point is, it came down. We had a higher high here with Dow, lower highs. So my trade was working out. And then you could have even for this trade. If you were trading Dow, you had a higher low there. So nice move back up. Now from here, obviously Nas has the lower high, so could just continue to be selling down. And that's why I did not fucking buy any of this. All right, because I could have bought this and took it back up. Okay. But I just knew it was too shallow, right? And it's just again like everything I just mentioned, right? So all right, roll right through. And Dow pushing up, squeezing out, balanced price range. Made a high, made a higher low. All right, sitting on that down candle, breakout area. This is what I wanted with us. I wanted to sell back down to Friday's high, and where would that have been? Would have been right here, right? Look, it's fit. The confluence here is sick. That's why I put another circle here. Why? Well, I did this measurement here. I just used the 15-minute candle bodies. Might not be that great, but look where -1 is. It's exactly where the sealment is. And then if you look to the left, well, I already did that. I'm sorry. The Friday's high, look where it is. Look where Friday's high is. Right there. So So this whole fucking little area right here, and you got and then you got 50% of the range completely. Look at the confluence with that. There's 4 pieces. So yeah, I wanted to come down here. Did I? No. Did I take what I was supposed to do and be done? Yes. Could I have traded some more of these? Yes. I just can't. I'm done. I'm just already done. Right? But just way too much confluence. This whole area here is just like this. This little fucking shift and then breakthrough right there. That was just basically like this understanding here. Remember when we were here on the 4 hour? Remember that? Remember this right here? Remember this right here? We came down, bust through, and then we retraced back, and then we expanded for continuing. That's exactly kind of like where we are right now. All right, so take a look. You have that. It's not that clean on this time frame. Let me see a 3 hour, and this is now I'm making a video long. 1 hour is probably cleaner. Well, in this case, you got structure, but it's the same. It's the same example here, right? It's the same example here, pushing through. You can see that we push through, and then we're retracing back, right? So now I should be looking for buys soon, but I don't know if that was it, and it could be, or does it want to dip out in here? And obviously, that would be too easy, right? So yeah, would this have been perfect if it just sold? That would be too easy, right? But I mean, it does happen, right? But they're not. This shit ain't that easy. So, but I hope this is all making sense here. Again, we're bullish, and for it to be up here, I don't expect it to keep like coming lower. That'd be crazy. Again, end of the quarter, and then, I'm wondering if we're going to sell off a little more into the first. The seasonality shows that, but this isn't this price action right here. This price action right here, all this right here, is not in the seasonality. So they might be pulling the rug early and starting the fourth quarter early with the, with the final push for the rest of the year, even into 26, right? But just that's all I can say. I was looking for a retracement. And then does the buy happen here or a little bit lower? And then I'm expecting push up. So you had, so basically, to keep this fucking simple, this is all I was looking at, right? So wherever it buys from, and then, and that's really it. I'm not really looking at anything else here. I'm not really anything else to look at. Again, only 3. So again, I called. Literally, the high here was ended up being the next day, which is Monday the 22nd, and then we sold every single one of these days here, right? And it was only 3 days. It's like, okay, it's the 25th here. Like pushing up here is just like loco, bro. Like this just doesn't make any sense. Hey, I gave you the bullish example for now. Unless, and we got NFP on Friday, we got some shit going on, man. So the thing is that it can get tricky here, and it was tricky today. So honestly, like in a perfect world, besides it just buying up from me, if this was a reversal here, right, and then we just made lower highs right there, which we were selling, I don't know, whatever it does. But if it's gonna still sell off, then I would like to see it do just a whole nother leg like this. And really come down here, and I don't expect that to happen in fucking one day. So is it likely? I don't know, but that would be like the worst case scenario. I'm still bullish, but is the value up? Should be up here? No, I don't think so. But if we're gonna follow the flow, I would like to see it come back to that breakout level of that all-time high right there, right, and then pop back in. So what do we have here? Again, we have a nice big tail, so it's strong. This is what's showing me why I showed you the first one, okay? Why I showed you that first example of retracing and then buying. And we're not inside that wick of last week at all, so we can also gradient that. I'm just not trying to put too much shit on my chart, but as you'll see here, the majority of that price action is sitting inside there and it's holding. So I'm just gonna delete this. I don't really need it there. But the wicks. So even if you did this, I'm gonna just copy this. How long is this video now? Oh, 40 minutes. Wow. I mean, you know what, man? I don't know, man. I don't know what else to say. Who else is gonna do this? Like, should be charging $15,000 too, huh? I'm just gonna move this over, and then also, Friday, by the way, also when it pushed up, it being a bullish day, we understood that if you graded the wick, right now I'm grading the lower wick of the week, but on the daily, you'll see that, you know, we came to a 50% of that wick. You know what? Let me just do this for a second since I have it here. I can do that. You see how we hit 50% of the wick of Thursday and Friday dipped in? It had to have kept going if it was selling, and it used it as support, right? Also, that down candle here on the open. See these down candles right here? Draw a line out. It's going to match perfectly. So these are the algorithmic levels that you're looking for. Let me move that back, rest for the week. But that's why I really like it coming back here. That would be signifying touching that first. Where's the next quadrant? It's right here. This is a discount. I mean, I would only want to be a buyer here since they already pushed it up, but I'm okay with some in here. You know, it's cool. But these are potential levels on the downside if it makes it that far. I mean, this might even be the low. And this is the retracement is done. You need to see a change of delivery here, and then higher highs, higher lows. But for me, it's kind of high, but it's also bullish. So what are you gonna do? Hope this makes all sense now. And I'm going to see. I just don't like all this shit on the chart. So I just have to explain it. I'm gonna do that by shrinking. That's why I pushed it over to the side. I know this is the weekly. That weekly candle of last week. So we'll see I'll just move it over. Nothing crazy, but and I moved this over here just so it wasn't sloppy here. So I hope this all makes sense. We have our first imbalances here. Obviously, you want to get above these to be bullish. We're sitting right inside PM. 40 minutes, dude. That's fucked up, dude. All right. Nvidia again, gap, and then they left that open, fucking scamming. But everything's really strong right now, so whatever. I don't care, but the play was a retracement at the least. So does it continue with this kind of flow here, or do we shift? Is this a retracement done, and then you start to see legs going that way, higher highs and higher lows? You can incorporate any trades there. That's exactly what I did here, as being done with an expansion side. Boom. These are sells to come down in that order flow, right? You saw me take the sell from here to here. You saw me take the sell from here to here, and then you saw me take the sell from here to here. This would have been also a beautiful trade, but don't need to find out. You guys take care. God bless.